Mrs. Piper Doug. Hopefully the insurance is up to date. Whole roof. Covered nice. So yeah, I gotta clean this whole area off because this is my sort of staging area for the tin work. Then I gotta scrape all the ice off the straps there. So I gotta shave my wood again. Got a warm spell coming in, though there is a chance of snow tonight. Awesome. But this is all covered in about a quarter inch of ice from that lovely rain we had. Yeah. Rain in February. Yeah. So, smash, sweep, etc. You get the picture. If you don't hear back from me, know that Mrs. Piper Doug is now exceptionally wealthy and available, guys. And we're back. So, yesterday, the spot that I chipped all the ice off and swept all the snow away, it was melting pretty good because we had another inch of snow last night. Yeah, because we needed it. So, swept the rest of what had landed there. I don't know if I'm going to bother too much more of that. Today is supposed to be just above 0. Thursday is supposed to be 3 above. So that'll pretty much be gone anyway. This is the problem. It dropped back on. So I'm getting the snow off as quick as I can to let the sun. Yeah, you gotta love that. At minus 50 and now it's like 1. So get all this off here to let it melt and then dry. And then I can get the last of the strapping done here, because there's a couple of bits here and then the rest of that corner to do. And then that can let me get the rest of these tubifers up along the front to let the tip tin get put on, as well as the multicolored Joseph's raincoat of colors as this is going to be over here. And yeah, so hopefully snow in the batting will be a thing of the past. And Penny will stop giving me the silent treatment. So yeah, got a nice little view here of all the critters. Everyone's quite happy. Well, considering it's 0, they can actually start to melt all of that frozen rain ice that was all on their backs. Yeah, as soon as that sun was getting high today, they were all standing with their sides towards the sun, just sort of in a trance of warming up. So yeah, see if I can do this because I'm holding a shovel. I don't want to drop my stuff. Okay. So this shows you, people not of the prairies, what those temperatures do. Yeah, all the troughs. Probably can't see that one too clearly. All the troughs end up getting encased like that. And for the most part, I don't mind that because that actually insulates them too. Just got to remember to chip enough of a hole for them to get their heads in. Cows are more, that's more of a risk because it doesn't take long before their big heads can't fit in the hole. Calves aren't too bad. Since I put that, see, this is all their hay bales for these guys. So I use it as a windbreak. And so as you start to get through the pile of bales, is coming to the end of winter. So it's sort of that where as you use it up, you don't need it as much. So double whammy. So yeah, there you go. I better get back to this because it's not melting any quicker with me flapping my gums. Isn't that right, Penny? Buddy! Are we Pennywise? Okay, back at her. So, about 3 hours have passed since the last segment. Sorry to keep pointing you at poop. So what I'm doing is finishing off the strapping, and yeah, it shouldn't have taken this long, but the sun disappeared shortly after I shut the camera off last time, and the temperature dropped about almost 10 degrees. So everything has stopped melting, and so the boards that were melting are now frozen again. So I'm going to give you a handy tip, and this is so, like, as you work your way up strapping a roof and you set the boards up that you're using as a walkway, don't ever walk around with your toes pointing downhill if you don't want to sound like a 6-year-old schoolgirl, especially when these rafters are coated nice. Always point your toes uphill, because if your toes are pointing uphill and you hit some ice and you slip, your arms can stabilize you, or your arms can grab onto something that's in front of you, like sporadic rafters and whatnot. If your toes are pointed downhill and your feet go out, you have no way of saving yourself on your heels. You've all done it on flat ground, all on sidewalks, you know, when people are watching and you do the whole, like, elbows up, hey, yeet. So yeah, that you don't want to do that up here, because chances are you'll land on the back of your head and break your neck. So yeah, handy tip from Piper Doug whilst on a roof. Even on like that kind of a roof, try and keep your toes pointed uphill. It'll save you more times than not. So I'm up to the last of the straps that are under this tin. So once I get that strapped, then all of these boards will start going along here to start making the leading edge, which will be a row of red, which will really confuse people flying overhead, because they'll be wondering what this means, this color sign. Hopefully it's not like some evil devil worshipping cult or something. Well, I live in a house with a bunch of redheads, so witches, whatever. Anyway, there you go. Tip number 47. Don't land and poop. Oh, that doesn't look factory. So, started using the biggest sheets to do the darker color, because that'll melt. I'm trying to figure out how the ice will melt off this roof and not end up creating heavy spots and cave the roof in. So I got these pieces on. I have some shorter red tin, so I can finish that stuff from there to there and there to there. And then I have some longer white stuff to finish off there. And then there's one sheet to do at that end. So it might look fugly right now, but it'll make sense, I promise you. It will. Oh, she's blowing. She's blowing hard. Not so bad here, actually. So I managed to get a little piece put on, doing just some more measuring, but I've got a whole bunch of woodwork to do along the front. But when you ever want reassurance that your idea works, the previous clip you watched was yesterday. 1/4 inch of ice and about 2 inches of snow, and it's just after lunchtime now, the next day. It's all gone. That helps, and the fact that it's about 1 degrees or 0 or whatever the heck it is. But yeah, black roof. Your snow load won't hang around. She'll be dang hot in the summertime when it's 36 degrees, but there won't be any animals in here, and I won't be up here, hopefully. So yeah, bit windy, so I've got the tin to trim off. I've got some more two roofers to go along the front. that tin to trim off, and then I've got to run a straight string along the front of these 2x6s and go and get the last of the 2x6s for the cap, and then some more 2-bifers to finish off the front row. And it feels like the wind is actually starting to shift to the west because it's starting to hit me now. So yeah, won't be doing any more tin today, but that's alright. Let's get on. Come on, you have to give us the award. Heifer with the coolest face markings. Guess what her name is? Punisher. That's right. Hey, squeakers. Punisher. Finish it. Hey, doctor. She's a sassy one. All of her siblings. I can't see her mum from here. All of her siblings have cool face markings. It's tradition. Every year, something cool. Isn't that right, Punisher? See? Okay, next step. Patching in short pieces, because this is the difficult part, because I'm trying to make it work, because I don't want to buy any more tin, not at this time of year. So yeah, you have to end and start on a strap. So I made sure this one was down here, and then up there you see it goes to there, but the top sheet will come down over to that strap. So if you do step on it, you're stepping on the top sheet, not on the half sheet. Whereas that would be different on this end. If it was like a halfway, you get it. It would, yeah, it would break. You'd be done. So yeah, so I've got about 3 more sheets to finish at that end, a bunch of short ones, and there's 1 sheet at that end. I got to do a lumber run, or I can talk to the lumber yard about bringing me the lumber, to do the 2x6 along the front cap, and then the front strap along there, and then snag the top off of all of these 6x6s at the front. I wasn't in too much of a rush to do those because they're not critical at this moment. I just needed this roof on. I probably covered this because Penny needs her shelter. So yeah, it's not the prettiest looking roof, but it's a roof on a budget, as you can see by odd colored screws. I do have a whole bunch of white tin still left in the workshop. I'll use some here, but I won't use nearly all of it. Turns out I probably could have used more of the white stuff on the end walls here and kept these longer red sheets up here. My reasoning for that is, because I heard you all asking, well, you know you did. Red is a darker color than white. Simple. But melting ice. That's the whole point of having a black roof, is that nothing stays up here. The whole roof being black was what it was supposed to be, but like I said, there's a complication. But you deal the hand you're given. Red is still darker than white, so it should melt off for the main part, because as you can see, there's a red roof on that little old, that we dragged that house from 4 miles that way. 1, 2, 3.5. 3.5 miles that way. Well, that's, yeah. Anyway, so that was supposed to be like a calving shelter at some point, but it's ended up, it's not going to be savable. We tried to fix it, straighten it, and the foundations have cracked that we put in because we didn't really know what we're doing. And so yeah, it's going to be coming down. That tin will be coming off, but not anytime soon. But it'll get salvaged and that'll get teared down. And the plan is to start building this thing along this top end here. Well, this pan here anyway, and that pan anyway. This one probably not as big of a deal, but definitely this one, because this is where the newborns will go, so they'll need a shelter. And over here it'll be like this, where if a cow starts calving we can chuck her in. There'll be pens like what's going to be in here that we can shut them in while they bond with the babies and then run them out, down and in. So yeah, a lovely day. Yeah, the very next day from that big blowing windstorm. Now this, it is colder though, as you can see by my breath. So yeah, I'm going to keep at this, but this is probably long enough for this video. Bye-bye from Penny. Teddy bye from this guy. Every day, whether it's 0 or minus 50, every day. Nuts.